So I was born in 1993 as Devone Gorum in Inglewood, California. Now, growing up in Inglewood, California, I mean, I'm not sure if it got worse or better, but I haven't really been there since. But I mean, growing up, you know, growing up there when I did, it was just it was a very rough city, like very, very rough. You had to like have principles. You had to really stand tall on your values. So that really played a lot like to who I am. And so, you know, I was born there. You know, Centinela Hospital. I grew up. At first, I was angry a lot, like, and we'll get into that a lot. So let's really start from the beginning. So I was born in Inglewood of family of three. I'm the youngest. I have two older brothers, and we started off, you know, kind of very happy. Didn't have much, but you know what I'm saying, we had each other, and you know, kind of like a small family, and so we really stood tall on our values. But then when I was like 9 years old, you know, like a situation had happened where I had to get into, you know, the fostering system, foster care. I'll get into it. You know, like there was, you know, some abuse. Like my mother, you know, she abused me. So my brother, he had called the cops, and cops came, cops took us away, and so I've been in that foster care system from, you know, like 8 or 9 to like, you know, 18. But you know, I moved, you know, home to home, you know, for different reasons, because they have a lot of different, you know, rules, you know, in the foster system. So, you know, they'll move me to this house, I stay with this family and that family, and switching all those families, it kind of made me like, you know, reserved and really like kind of like quiet, just like, yeah, I guess quiet, just like, because since I moved a lot, it's like why I introduce myself, and as soon as I introduce myself, as soon as I have fun, and then I gotta move back again. So that's where a lot of like my reservedness comes from. You know, just moving around way too much and meeting way too many people, have to have the same conversations over and over and over again. So everything made me who I am. So let's get into more detail with elementary school. Elementary school, I went to a few different elementary schools. Like I said, did the best that I could. One thing that did really stick out was when I was in 5th grade. Had a friend of mine, his name was Anthony. He invited me to go to a park one day. I said no because it was really late. That next morning, he ended up getting shot and killed at that park. So that really changed me too. Then I went to middle school. I mean, middle school's pretty okay. Like I made a couple friends. I only went to 2 middle schools. So that's when things started becoming more consistent. Like the older I got, I was able to have more things consistent, because when I was younger, everything was always changing. I was always moving, you know. So I just, you know, it affected me negatively. So middle school was pretty cool. So I hang around with the bad crowd. Started getting into a few things, but as I reached high school, I was able to find, you know, more alternative means of expressing myself. Yeah, it is funny, like, cause like in school, like, you know, my earlier years from like elementary and middle school, like I kind of bullied people a lot. I didn't really see it as bullying, because, you know, guys, we have a more tougher way of like having friends, you know. We have more tough skin. So like, you know, if you like, you know, shove somebody or like, you know, call them, you know, a bad name, I wasn't, you know, trying to, you know, demean people. It just, you know, the culture of how it was, you know. So, you know, I did, you know, made people feel bad. You know, I did, you know, bully some kids. But the weird thing is, I remember like kind of like after middle school, when I started getting into high school, like the people started getting bigger than me and more taller than me, because like during middle school and elementary, I was like on the bigger side of things. And then I started, you know, trying to, you know, have my presence, you know, just, you know, establishing my dominance. But in high school and college, like the reverse happened. now people start, giving me crap and start saying things to me. So, it went around full circle for me, bullying people to people try to, mess up bullying with me. Like I did, like, I was playing music. I played like a lot of different instruments, like from the baritone to piano to guitar. I expressed myself like that, and I was getting into, different types of music. My teacher, he was telling me about, jazz, because, all this stuff started through jazz, and it built off of, the foundation of jazz. And so, yeah, I had a lot of respect for jazz, but, I was mainly focused on rap and rock. I would go back and forth, and I even played in a rock band. But in high school, I was always willing to try, like, a whole bunch of different things to, like, try to, just like really establish myself, because I always want to be like, I want to have status, like, because I don't know, like, I want to prove myself. So I tried different things. I tried like sports, I tried anime club, like I tried different things, to get friends. And high school, I had a lot of good friends, during that time. I was, I had my little party phase. It was, some points it was getting bad, because it would be like every weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just going out. But it was cool. Definitely a lot of good memories. Definitely wouldn't take any one of those nights back. Had a lot of great memories that I still, ponder on this day. So yeah, I tried the sports. Football was pretty good. Then I started getting into exercising, and man, like from me playing football, like that's when like the weightlifting stuff started, and it was cool. Like I was introduced, like, strong people, and they put in like all these 45 pounds, like they put like 2 or 3 plates of 45 pounds, and they just squatting, or they pressing them. So I'm like, okay, like that's where the standard is. Like if they doing that, okay, like that's that's where the bar is. So it got me motivated. Like I'm motivated by like seeing people do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I know that it is possible, like I want to do it, I want to attempt it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, high school. I mean, college. I went to do 2 different colleges, but I don't know. I feel like after college is when I started on my decline. Like, though in high school, after I graduated, I picked up a camera. I started, going to photography. I started doing videos. And the reason I did is because, like, I never had much photos growing up. Like, I only had, right now, my childhood, I can only really remember 2 photos. I only have a photo when I was like a baby, and then I have one more of when I was in like 2006. I was in probably like 6th grade. So those are only 2 photos that I have of my childhood. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take these in my own hands. So I picked up a camera. I started taking as much photos as I can of me. Then I started taking pictures of other people. Then I started taking classes, and then when you take photos in like different classes, they make you like do different projects. Like one project you can go out and take pictures of landscapes. Another project you go take pictures of people. And when I started taking pictures of people and like making videos of people, then I was like, oh, okay, like I'm really into this. Like I'm really feeling this. So I try to photograph these women that don't see themselves as beautiful, and I try to make them as naturally beautiful as they can. Like I'm not doing filters. I'm not photoshopping them crazy. Like I'm keeping them as natural as they're looking, but the better version of that, so I'm not trying to like make them like dollified. So like the women that you see on my Instagram, they look like that in real life any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love it, and that's why I do what I do. Like, don't get it wrong, I can, do all the crazy photoshopping, but it don't do me justice, like for what I want my photography to be. And so I mean, as far as the videos, I do that to express myself, because I don't have as much friends as I like, or hardly any. I honestly can't call anyone comfortably a close friend of mine. I probably have associates and maybe a couple of friends, but I don't have like a person I'm comfortable calling like a close friend. Maybe it's because of me, because like I said, I subconsciously maybe, you know, shut people off after a while, or maybe like, because me, like I'm heavy on like values. Like, you don't have to lie to me, you don't have to, like, you know, talk about my back. Like I'm cool enough to be like, to hear you out, we can talk about it, and I can tell you that my side, you tell me your side, we can meet somewhere in the middle, and then we can decide what we want to do from there. But you know, as far as like, you know, gossiping and running with, you know, false truth, like if I hear any of that, like, you know, I'm easy to, you know, never talk to people again. And you know, maybe if I hear like a really good apology, you know, maybe, you know, I'm 26 now. I mean, yeah, I'm 26 now, so you know, I can mature a little bit these days. As far as like jobs, like I had a few jobs. Like I worked, my first job was at 7-Eleven. Like I was so excited when I got that job, because I've been trying to apply for jobs since I was like 16, and like I couldn't, like nobody will hire me, because you know, it's the whole thing of like, they want to hire you with experience, but you can't get experience unless you're working. We can't work with experience. So it's the whole thing of like, you know, you know, that whole conundrum. So I've been going to 7-Eleven like every day after school, you know, getting like, you know, chips and stuff. And there's a sign. I called the manager. I was like, hey, you know, can I work? He's like, all right, cool. Like, fill out application. I gave him a little resume, and you know, I hired me. Then I worked at Ralph's. Ralph's was pretty fun, honestly. Well, I mean, as fun as like the co-workers was fun, but like as far as the whole working and all that, it's a little weird, but I enjoyed that. That was fun. I was a photographer at this place that photographs high school sports teams. That was really good, because I love photography. So me getting paid to do photography, I mean of course, you know, let's do that. Then I started working at FedEx. That was pretty interesting. Not really a big fan of that. I won't go into much detail, but yeah, it's a little more not my style. So then I started working at factory jobs. When I left there, I started doing like Uber for a little bit. That was interesting. You know, but then I got a government job where I am right now. You know, so that's really good. You know, it's more stable, and you know, the schedule's more, you know, it's more, everything is more like stable for me. It pays better, and you know, it's more stable, you know, it's more stability for me. So yeah, then as far as my photography, like a few years ago, maybe 2016, 2017, I got reached out, a magazine reached out to me. They was like, oh, we really like your photos, can you submit some to us? So I submitted them like 2 models, and well, yeah, like they featured those 2 models in the magazine, and they wrote an article on me. And then ever since then, I just like, I never thought about being in the magazine. I never thought that was a direction I would want to go towards. But once I saw it, like once you see a printout, you see a picture, and you see like words about you, and it's like, well, yeah, I can do this. Like I really can do this. Like it's cool. Like I don't know, makes you feel good when you see your name like on the cover of a magazine. I was like, okay, it makes you feel really good. So I was like, okay. And I started submitting to different magazines. Another magazine, like they accepted me in. I submitted them like 2 or 3 models, and then now this is 2020. I've been in like 5 of their issues. So I've been in like 6 magazine issues total. It was really crazy, and it's really fun. Like I try to put different models that I believe in it. You know, trying to give different girls like, you know, the chance and outlook to be in magazines that never, you know, would ordinarily have this type of opportunity. Yeah, so doing the magazine thing, that's like the business side of it. Now let's go more into the personal side of it. As far as the relationships, wow. So going back to the relationships part, and like why I don't really like, you know, well, why I'm pretty much single. So it's, all in all, if I can explain it in one word, it's timing. Like I've always had the worst timing ever. Like I would just meet the perfect girl at the wrong time, you know. I meet a girl, or you know, either I had to move, or she had to move, or you know, she just, you know, not at the right space to date right now. Maybe she just, you know, was in the really bad relationship prior, so her mind's messed up. Maybe she's, you know, trapped in something toxic. So it's like the timing. Like, I feel like all my life I met the like coolest girls that really just, you know, are awesome, but it's just the timing wasn't right. Either, you know, I was more reserved, I didn't open up enough, I didn't try hard enough, or I tried too much, or, you know, I didn't appreciate them enough, or I didn't, like, you know, just the timing. The timing. Either if it was just, you know, my maturity, my stability, you know, my mentalness, like, the timing was just way off, so I couldn't get like a real shot at having a really happy relationship. Like, I never been in like love. I mean, I've been in love once, you know, like the kid love. I'll tell you a little bit. Like, I was in like middle school. I said this before. Her name was I think Alexandria Price, and then we would, like, this was back then when like notes was everything. So like I would walk her to school. It was like me, her, my brother, my older brother, her older sister. They would like make fun of us because we were like passing each other notes, but even though we would be walking together, we would still, you know, pass each other notes, you know, doing that whole little thing, trying to hold hands. And back then, like, holding hands was everything, you know. So, but she ended up moving. She got away. She ended up moving. So, like I said, that's my whole thing. Is just, you know, as for me, relationships, like, I'm more about like the subtle type of things. Like, for me, like, the physical part isn't like everything to me. Like, I would rather, you know, like, you know, I'll be okay with like kissing. I'll be okay with like holding hands. I'll be okay with like hugging. You know, that's me. That's the type of stuff that I value. But I mean, the type of like generation that I'm in and the dating pool that I'm in is just my type of guy doesn't work for what they're looking for. They want good qualities from a bad boy. You get me? So that's, and which won't work because like, you know, the girl likes them because they're a bad boy. So why would they stop that if that's what attracted them to you in the first place? You get me? So that's why, you know, it doesn't work out most of the time. You're trying to get good qualities from a bad guy, but you like him because of the bad guy, and they're trying to change him to something that was not what attracted you to him in the first place. You get what I'm saying? It's a little weird, but like, if you know, you know. But anyways, that's where I'm at as far as relationships. Who I am is like, I'm very like, I just have values. Like, at the end of the day, I just have values, and like, if people aren't meeting it, it's like, I'll try to work with people like on a certain extent, but if they're just not getting it, or just not valuing me the way I want to be valued, I just can't do it. So with women, like, I had a lot of good relationships, you know. I had like a lot of girlfriends, but like really short, like 3 months here, 4 months here, month there. A lot of it was due to moving, but other times it was due to like, oh, they like another guy, they're like their ex, they just don't want to do with me no more, blah blah blah, I was too mean, blah blah, like whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm a really good guy. You know, I always, you know, put myself out there in the best way. I don't know. I like as far as my type, I like a very, very strong girl. Like, I don't like a girl that's like, you know, letting people do all kind of things to her, that don't really stick up for herself, that, you know, hides a lot of issues, you know, wants to lie. Like I said, if they're strong, if they're honest, if they like to have fun, like, I'm all in it, all for it, all about it. Yeah, like I said, I've dated, you know, different kind of girls. I dated, you know, girls that are black, I dated, you know, girls that are Mexican, I dated girls that are white. You know what I'm saying? It was, as far as a specific type, I mean, I don't necessarily have a specific type. You know, sometimes when I move, I'll be surrounded by a specific type and date them because that's what I'm surrounded by. So that's why I might have, you know, relationships that look the same. Excuse me. But yeah, as far as like a specific type, like they have to look like this, look like that. Nah, it's more about, you know, insight, because you know I did, you know, a wide range. So you know, as far as my family, like there was a long period of time where I didn't speak to any of them, just because I didn't have them on Facebook or anything like that. But last few years, like I found like some of my family on Facebook, so we communicate through there. The communication isn't as good as, you know, it should be, but it's because, you know what I'm saying, I'm still growing. I'm still trying to wait until I'm a little bit more, you know, stable to you know, to fully reach out. Like I'm moving step by step, you know, slowly messaging them back and slowly calling and then maybe seeing them, you know, it's just step by step, because it's been so long, you know. So I feel a specific type of way about that since it's been, you know, so long since, you know, I've seen them, I've lived with them, all that. So yeah, no, it's a lot of crazy things that I've experienced, you know. So that makes my life interesting, you know, from the deaths I've seen. I've had my friend die and having people around me get stabbed, you know, seeing people jumped, you know what I'm saying. So back in high school, you know, I'm kind of jumping around on this thing, but because my whole life is a jumble. So, you know, in high school I started getting, you know, tattoos. I got like, you know, a few on my arm, like that, like, you know, I got a few tattoos. So I kind of started getting this little like obsession with tattoos, but they becoming more expensive. So I would just screen on people, and then I ended up getting 2 tattoos that I do regret, because I was just so in a rush to get tattoos that I would let anybody give me a tattoo, and the guy didn't know how to give me a tattoo, so I ended up getting a regrettable tattoo. But that's just a little thing that, you know, only a little bit of people know. So yeah, a few things that people don't know is that I have a cat. Her name is Poppy. Say hi, Poppy. Look. Hi. Yeah, I don't think she likes the camera too much, but she likes attention. But yeah, I'll put it back down before she gets all crazy. Yeah, so I do have a cat. My middle name, so for a long time I did not tell my people my middle name. Like, you could not call me my middle name without that being some kind of super drama, like me, like. But so I do have a middle name. My full name is Devone Gorum. Right now I don't care about it if people call me that. I mean, I'm still not gonna let people call me that, but people can, if they want to get beat up. Nah. Yeah. Okay guys, that was just a little bit of a mini documentary on just, you know, how I grew up. You know, I kept the majority of things in there. My cat's trying to get my attention. I kept the majority of things in there. There's a few things that I may have left out, but yeah, I get to know me. Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe, see you guys later.